This is a review of Season 1 of Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. I hope for your sake you've already watched it. You already know this, but I gotta put it up here anyway. Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Gardetrace. We've got that live-action Ghost in the Shell movie coming out soon, and it's most likely gonna suck. I got a whole video on that here, so go check that shit out. But that's not why we're here today. Today, we are here to review the anime from 2002 by Production IG, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. In the year 2030, society has become so technologically advanced that cyberization has become commonplace. This high-tech society has given the rise of computer hackers and cyber terrorists, as one could hack into someone's brain and manipulate what they are able to see in front of them, as well as their very memories. These threats are too great for normal police to handle, which is where Public Security Section 9 comes in. Section 9 is a secretive elite squad led by Chief Daisuke Aramaki, which consists of former police detectives, military officers, and computer hackers, most of which are cyborgs themselves. Standalone Complex plays like a police procedural. Each episode focuses on various cases and the processes that Section 9 used to solve each one. This series has two types of episodes: standalone episodes and complex episodes. Standalone episodes have their own self-contained plot that gets resolved by the end of the episode. Complex episodes are centered around the ongoing plot of the series. The Laughing Man Case. You may think that standalone episodes are nothing more than filler, however that couldn't be further from the truth, as standalone episodes give insight on the members of Section 9, and each one serves as a means to develop the characters that they're focused on. Makes sense too. Just because the main plot of the series is the Laughing Man case, that doesn't mean it's the only case Section 9 has to work on. Just like with Criminal Minds, there are plots centered around criminals known as the Reaper and the Replicator, but it's not like every episode of their respective seasons is centered all around them. The Laughing Man case is about a mysterious hacker who holds the CEO of a micro machine company at gunpoint on live TV. In real time, he hacks into the cameras as well as the eyes of onlookers and plasters a laughing face emoji over himself, concealing his face from the world despite the fact that he's right in front of everyone. This incident has spawned numerous copycats, and we are unsure what the Laughing Man's objectives are, if there's more than one Laughing Man, or if there is even a true original. This series features a lot of philosophical and existential topics, and puts more emphasis on plot and story rather than action. Not that there isn't any action. As you can see, there's action, and it kicks ass. But that isn't what this series is about. The different topics are a lot to take in, and you better be paying attention or else you'll miss something. And if you're purely into more action-oriented series, you may find yourself bored or confused, but this series creates a good balance between everything. It knows when to focus on action as well as when to be humorous as well.
I think he broke.
The Tachikoma-focused episodes are goofy and lighthearted in nature, so it's not like this is a series that takes itself too seriously.
Well,
Section 9's field leader is Major Motoko Kusanagi, aka the most badass woman in all of anime, and quite possibly the most badass anime character in general, male or female.
Straighten up your own act before whining about the world. Or if that's too much, wear a blindfold, zip your mouth, and live in a cave.
She is a strong female leader of a team of men. She could kick all of their asses. She is a full-body prosthetic cyborg, and she has a real talent for computer hacking and has different cybernetic bodies to utilize for different situations. For a woman, she's very macho, and it's been suggested that she switches to a male cybernetic body.
Major Macho, why don't you stop trying to look female on the outside and switch over to a male chassis already? You'll be stronger and have more authority. Let's do it.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm kicking my ass! Do you mind?
She can kick ass with the best of them, likes beer, and likes girls. However, she does not want you to forget that she is a woman. Her main body is a model that she's very fond of. She has some sort of sentimental attachment to the body, however the series doesn't give much insight on her past. She is an amazing character and one of the best examples of a strong lead female in anime, but she could have used a bit more explanation in her backstory. But hey, who cares about that when she has such a nice ass?
I've got to at least give it a shot.
Her second in command is Bato, a former military officer who has the biggest sense of humor on the team.
Only your pride was injured.
I do not find this funny.
He also has the biggest temper on the team. He's the most hot-headed member of the team, however he's not reckless or incompetent as a result. He is a badass in his own right, and the series gives us more insight on his past than Motoko's, so making him a more developed character than she is. Like her, he has things that he does for nostalgia or sentimental value, such as working out, despite the fact that it is useless to him. It is implied that he has romantic feelings for Motoko, however romance is not a focus in this series. The last character I'll talk about is Togasa, who is the only member of the team with no prosthetic augmentations, though he does have a cyber brain. He is the youngest member of Section 9 as well as the only family man. He is the most idealistic member of the team, and he creates a unique dynamic that no one else possesses due to his lack of cyberization as well as his idealism. He prefers the use of older model weapons rather than more high-tech weaponry. It's also thanks to him that the Laughing Man case doesn't go cold, and he's perhaps the most relatable character of the series. This anime debuted back in 2002, yet it looks on par with anime that was released in recent years.
Bye.
The animation has aged really well and has some of the best character designs, as each character has their own unique detailed look, even the minor characters. We all know how anime looked back in the early 2000s when studios were switching from cel shading to digital shading, and for a while anime had kind of an awkward look to it until the late 2000s. You'd never guess that this anime is 14 years old by the time of this video. Although not everything about the animation is golden, this series utilizes a lot of 3D. Some of it blends in, most of it sticks out like a sore thumb. The cars in particular look like something out of a cel-shaded PlayStation 2 game. Ultimate Spider-Man comes to mind. The Tachikomas are the most prominent examples of this problem, as their shading differs from each episode slightly, and another thing that greatly gives them away is when you see their movements in comparison to the 2D character models. Also, the characters often talk through their brains as opposed to their mouths.
Spot it?
Huh?
Don't turn around. There's a camouflage Tachikoma hanging from the corridor ceiling.
So a lot of times the characters speak without any mouth animations, which will make you think production IG got lazy, though I highly doubt that was the case.
Is there even an operator on board? I know we don't stand a snowball's chance in hell against it, but being ignored like this pisses me off.
Care to cut it off and get in its face, then?
Hi.
There's a lot of good sounds to be heard in this series. First of all, the voiceovers. Mary Elizabeth McGlynn shines as Motoko Kusanagi, and she has one of my favorite performances of an anime character. I was so happy to meet her at SuperCon. Hey, you see this right here? She signed this. With amazing performances from the likes of Richard Epcar and Crispin Freeman, as well as having some very well written and clever dialogue, this is one of the best English dubs I've ever heard. The Japanese cast is amazing too if you prefer to watch anime subbed. The only problem is the voices of the Tachikomas, as they speak in these childlike high-pitched voices which are really dissonant with their appearances.
One of us met Mickey in the first place. It was me! No, me! Wrong, I'm positive it was me.
It's like Alphonse Elric from Full Metal Alchemist being a bulky suit of armor speaking in a little kid's voice.
I hate you, brother! You're not even human!
Their voices represent their childlike senses of wonder, but it can still get annoying to hear after a while. Now, regarding the soundtrack, it is an absolute eargasm. Yoko Kanno has done it again. If you have her music featured in an anime, you can guarantee that you're gonna get a lot of awesome music. The songs are sung by either Ariga, Ilaria Graziano, or Scott Matthew, all of which are amazing vocalists. Unlike most animes, standalone complexes' opening and ending themes are actually part of the soundtrack. The opening, Inner Universe, sung by Ariga, is by far my favorite song on the soundtrack. Its visuals are entirely done in 3D, making them look very different from the anime that they're attached to, but they, along with the beautiful singing voice of Ariga, set the mood for this anime like no other. It makes me so sad that Ariga tragically died back in 2015. Give me a minute. Okay. The ending, Lithium Flower, sung by Scott Matthews, is a great track, but the visuals are nothing more than still images of the members of Section 9, and there's no clever transitions to each picture. The song is the only reason to watch the otherwise generic ending credits. Or hey, maybe you like to see topless Motoko teasing you.
But the whole social provocation equals left-wing idea is so last century. There ain't no left or right when it comes to making money. And that's a fact.
When people ask me what my favorite anime is, I always answer Ghost in the Shell. Now, I have no top 10 list of favorite anime of all time because, well, there's a lot of shit I like, and trying to organize them in a list is virtually impossible. But Standalone Complex is the reason I call this my favorite. With its well-utilized concept of a dystopian future that we ourselves are well on our way to in real life, a cast of likable characters as well as a talented voice cast and a well-written script, a soundtrack that is on point, as well as good, but not mindless action sequences, makes this series one hell of a winner in my book. Now, it isn't perfect in every way, but then again, no series is. Now, if you're into more action-oriented series and you don't have the patience to sit through this series of storytelling in order to get to them, well then, I gotta say you're greatly missing out. Its philosophical concepts are a lot to take in, but Standalone Complex is definitely worth the watch. And you'll likely stick around to see Motoko's amazing ass. So after taking everything into consideration, I will award Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex with a score of 9.7 out of 10, giving it a platinum rating with the recommendation to own it. This is a series that you should definitely be proud to add to your collection. On the positive side, it has a very talented voice cast. Yoko Kanno delivers on the soundtrack. It has spectacular storytelling and interesting concepts. And its animation is on par with more recent series. On the negative side, the Tachikomas can get annoying to listen to after a while. The 3D sticks out like a sore thumb, and the amount of information that you'll be taking in from the series can seem overwhelming at times. Standalone Complex was formerly licensed by Bandai Entertainment, but since that company has gone defunct, the series is now licensed by Funimation. For alternative anime recommendations, I could point you towards Ergo Proxy, a 2006 cyberpunk anime produced by Studio Manglobe, which focuses on a lot of philosophical concepts just as Standalone Complex does. Another anime I could point you towards would be 1998's Cowboy Bebop, produced by Studio Sunrise, which covers a lot of philosophical and existential topics similar to Ghost in the Shell, and it's also very episodic in nature, similar to how Standalone Complex can be, especially with its standalone episodes. And that will conclude this anime review. Now, of course, as you can see, this anime review is only centered around Season 1 of Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. Now, I will be giving Standalone Complex Second Gig its own review as it has enough content to warrant its own review. Now be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more reviews in the future. Also, if there's anime you'd like to suggest I review, give me a word on Facebook. All the links you need are in the description below. So thank you for watching this video and have a good day, everybody. This is Trace signing out.
Dear, look what you've done to your forlorn and once beloved son. What was I?